Good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins, and it's another day of talking about Congo. And thank you all for stopping by today. And we're going to talk about some of the key characteristics of what is a social business. I think people get caught up on the word social, and they think anything social is a social business. But however, that is not necessarily the case. So I'm going to turn the camera on and let you look at some snow scenes uh, while I talk today. You won't have to look at me. I'm sitting down in a shelter because it's snowing outside. And as soon as I figure this, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Let's go. Okay. All right, there you go. Now you can see some snow a little bit. So anyway, let's talk about those key characteristics. Number one, it has to alleviate poverty, do something that will solve a health problem, access to communication, uh, some type of food security, or something like that. It has to solve one of those key problems associated with poor people. Number two, it has to be sustainable. I talked about that yesterday. It has to be sustainable. We cannot be setting up something that requires a continual year from year input into it in order for it to survive. So it has to be sustainable. Uh, Normally, if you've got money from investors, uh, which is a common practice, you have to uh, pay the investor back, after a period of time. And you also do not give them any dividends. You give them whatever they put in. If they put in $5,000, 5 years from now, you give them $5,000 back. They can do whatever they want with their 5,000. They can start a new social business or whatever the case may be. So in order to do that, the company has to retain its profit or any surplus that it has. So that is what it uses to grow, to improve services and things like that. You don't get money from investors and get money again from the investor. If you want to increase, expand, or do something, you actually go out and uh, get that money from your profits or surpluses. Number five, you need to pay a market wage. We're talking about poor people. They do not have money to resources to take care of themselves. They need to have a marketable wage. And when I say a market wage, that means to say you're going to be competing against other businesses that have the same thing. So therefore, you got to pay a wage that is comparable to what other people are paying in the market so that you can attract the best and brightest employees. Number six, it needs to be socially, uh, not socially, but environmentally conscious. Meaning to say is you cannot have a social business that's creating problems with our environment or not, and they probably should be uh, doing something to uh, alleviate an environmental problem. Let's say if you're starting a solar business, that's number one. It's going to decrease the green gases, and also it's going to provide electricity. You cannot be providing products or something that's in non-recyclable materials or probably plastics and stuff. And finally, it needs to be done with joy. And when it means to say it's done with joy, you enjoy doing it. It's your passion. You think that it's great to do it, and so therefore you are are really working on this as something passion that you want to do. So that's the 7 keys. Those are the ones that's the Grameen Bank, the Grameen Foundation, a number of Grameen organizations. Those are the uh, what they live by and what they evaluate a not a social business for. And if you can't meet those standards, you're not a social business. You probably should not be calling yourself that. You're just fooling yourself, thinking that you are when you're actually not. So that's what I wanted to talk about today because I saw something in the on Okapi this morning, the Congolese radio station operated by the United Nations, and they were talking about a social fund. And what I thought the social fund was is no more than just giving handouts to people. They having them work. It said it was giving them a job, but basically uh, they're not really doing something that's gonna keep doing after the money runs out. So that's key. You got to have something that's gonna keep going after the money runs out, and you can continue to operate it. So if you have any thoughts on that, please drop those in the comments. Whether you're watching today on Saturday, or if you're watching some other time, just drop your. I will always be able to receive the comments because both Facebook and YouTube, uh, alerts me to that somebody has left a comment, and so that I can see what they said, and I will always answer you and give you some my 2 cents on it. So thank you so much. So please do that. And if you have any additional topics that you want to talk about around the idea of social business, please leave those in the comments. So that's what I had to talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and finish my walk here in the snow, and it's not sticking to the ground, and then go watch some football. So I want all y'all to continue to work on let's get this pandemic under control, and also wear your mask, wash your hands frequently, and socially distance yourself. Congo has in the past week has had 1,000 cases. So something is going on there that they're saying that people are not forgetting what they've been doing and not haven't been practicing. And kids are not going to school. The government decided not to start school back after the holidays because the increase in the um, the, the increase of COVID-19. So thank you, and we'll talk with you later. Take care. Be blessed.